What's going on, y'all? Welcome to He is the Architect 1111. And today we're going to be talking about building on the rock, aka the architect, the Most High. So we're going to go to the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 46 to 49. So bear with me, I'm about to read this text to y'all. But why do you call me Lord, Lord, and not do the things which I say? Whoever comes to me and hears my sayings and does them, I will show you whom he is like. He is like a man building a house who dug deep and laid the foundation on the rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently against that house and could not shake it, for it was founded on the rock. But he who heard and did nothing is like a man who built a house on the earth without a foundation, against which the stream beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. Luke 6, verse 46 to 49. So, building on the rock. And for those of you that don't know, the architect is the Most High God, Yahweh, the creator of creations, of all things. Building on the rock is what we need to do. But do we consistently do it? No, and that's why some of the things that we build aren't finished. Building on a rock at all costs is going to cost something. And that's why it says in the word, count the cost. Because nobody goes to build something without seeing how much it's going to cost to do it. Because if you don't count the cost, you may start and then realize, I don't have all the materials I need. I'm not able to finish this task because I underestimated the longevity of this project, of this undertaking, and now I'm tapped out of resources. And I hope that don't go over your head, i.e., are you willing to count the cost of what it's going to take from you to sacrifice, to deny your flesh, to possibly walk away from people, places, and things that aren't going to be conducive to your building for you to complete this? And that's the thing, man. So many times I myself started something, but I didn't count the cost of what it would take for me to do it. And sadly, a lot of stuff was left undone. But I ain't perfect and I'm not trying to be. I'm just, here, a spirit having a human experience. This body is going to pass away. But that's the question, man. Like, are you willing to build on the rock? Who is the architect? So basically, are you willing to follow the architect's plan and build on him? Because the architect's plan isn't going to be changed. You know what I mean? God's plan for our life is already written. It's up to us if we want to pick it up. And the only way we can pick it up is through humility, surrender, and more surrender. And a lot of people, nowadays are into instant gratification, into pride. And when I say pride, I'm not coming at anybody. I'm just saying what, Spirit wants me to say at this moment. And pride, I mean saying, well, why do I have to do it this way? Why can't I do it that way? Or also saying, I don't want to do it now. I'll start later. You know what I mean? All of these things can hinder the process of the project being completed. And then on top of that, you haven't even counted the cost. So you're going to be up the creek, It's about tapping into the Most High, but most importantly, surrendering. You have to surrender to the process. You have to say to the architect that you know what, I'm willing to undertake this. I'm willing to, withstand whatever comes because I'm standing on you. And if you're standing on the architect and the architect is God, I ain't never see God build something that failed. I've seen people build stuff themselves and things fail because they've done it out of willpower. They've done it out of, I feel good right now. But once that feeling leaves, okay, now what? Once the fad of doing what we see everyone else doing changes, now you're going to change from, okay, I was building a house, now I'm going to build a boat. Okay, and now I'm not building a boat, now I'm building a hut. I hope that don't go over your head. Once you lock in and once you decide to truly follow the architect, you're gonna build his plan. But the only way you can build his plan is through humility and surrender. You have to be humble. And the most important part of being humble is realizing that it's hard. It takes time to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And the only way that you can change is by saying, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go through this. You know, I'm going to put my trust not in myself, but in the Most High, because he's never failed. And maybe you haven't had a chance to experience the love of God. Maybe you haven't had a good representation of what it means to have not religion, but a relationship with the Most High God. Those two things are different. Religion and relationship are two things different, and we'll get into that later. But all I'm saying is building on the rock. Who is our architect? If we choose to build on him, we will never fail. But if we choose to give up in the moment, if we choose to not give our all, we're not going to see the results, and we're not going to see the finished project to completion. Now, when Jesus Christ came as the Word to earth, he fulfilled the architect God's plan. He went through egregious, horrible, terrible things, and he was just trying to help. And it even got to the point to where he second-guessed the architect. Oh, Holy Spirit, you talking now. Jesus Christ even had a moment of saying, man, I don't know if what I'm building right now is going to be for me, you know, but he snapped out of it and said, you know what, I already came this far. Not my will, Father, but your will be done. And he said it in the Garden of Gethsemane. He said, Father, if it be thy will to pass this bitter cup. Basically, he's saying, like, maybe I could do something different to where I don't have to do it this way. No, I hope that don't go over your head. There is no other way. He is the only way, the life, and the truth. You get what I'm saying? It's just about understanding we aren't self-sufficient. We need to be dependent upon the Most High. And the sooner that we're able to just say, you know what, I relinquish control, because control is an illusion. We never have control. We only think we do. And those that try to control stuff, they can only control what they think they're controlling for so long until they really realize they weren't controlling anything. So I just want to say, man, if you are embarking on the journey to build, if you are thinking about surrendering, or you already have surrendered, know that there's going to be stuff that comes. There's going to be moments where you don't feel like building, but you really have to go back and look at the plan, look at the blueprint and say, okay, he said he wanted me to do this for this way because it's going to yield this. Everybody's life is different. What may work for Sally is not going to work for you. What may work for someone else, the materials they use, you may have to use another type of materials. Point being, what I'm saying is you have to be okay with your individual life plan that the Most High has for you. And the sooner that you stop running from it is the sooner that you can go ahead and get building. But you also have to count the cost and say, okay, am I even in the right state to build? You know, some people went through trauma. Some people who went through loss, some people have went through grief, some people have went through so many different things that they haven't processed. You have to be able to have emotional intelligence and say, you know what, I want to build. God, I surrender to you, but the season that I'm in right now, I'm tapped out. I don't have the strength. I don't have the ability to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that I went through behind me drained me. I looked in my back pocket to see if I had that extra oomph, and I don't have it. And it's nothing wrong with that. God will meet you right where you are. The Most High will carry you. But he's not going to meet you He's not going to meet you if you're feeling like, you know what, I'm gonna do this when I want and I'm gonna do it the way that I want, it don't work like that. And for those that know, me included, I know very well, I haven't counted the cost at times. I just rushed into stuff. It wasn't the season for me to build. I was trying to get stuff done for certain reasons, to fill a void. I had a legitimate need, but I was feeling it illegitimately. I hope that don't go over your head. And I know I'm saying a lot of stuff, but for those that hear me and understand, they'll get where I'm going. And for those that don't, if you seek him, you will, and you'll understand, because you'll be on your path and you'll realize, man, building isn't easy. You know, it comes with discipline, it comes with dedication, it comes with devotion, and most importantly, it comes with surrender and humility. Jesus wasn't out here saying, I'm the Christ, I'm Mr. Big Shit. Nah, Jesus was with the shits. And when I say with the shits, staying heavily in tune. Jesus was with the shits, staying heavily in tune. Okay, for those that know, they know he stayed heavily in tune. He withdrew to pray, to get counsel, to get downloads, to say, okay, look, they don't know where I'm going and they don't know what we're doing, but I need to know. I need to be in tune so that he could do what? The architect's will, the Father's will. And that's what we need to do. We need to be tapped in, and we need to know that we can't do anything within ourselves. It's all the architect. All right, so Luke 6:46-49. Make sure you build on something solid, but also count the costs. It may not be your time to actually start building physically. It may be your time just to start building a relationship with God so that he can give you the downloads for you to build whatever it is to come into manifestation physically. I hope that don't go over your head. He is the architect. 11:11. Love y'all. Peace.